dirty bomb attack at a beer festival in the UK.
Has anyone called an ambulance?
A bio-terrorist attack at a meat factory in Italy. A mustard gas attack on a train in France. And a chemical attack by terrorists on a Spanish sugar factory. CBRN events can take many forms, but fortunately all these examples are simulated attacks used in exercises such as the EU Eden project and the UK Argon Shield programme. And members of the public who saw the exercises said they were reassured to see that authorities were planning for such incidents.
Well, the guy was just explaining to us, but yeah, really reassuring to know that, you know, it's all under control and there's a plan of action in place. So yeah, good, very exciting.
But as the nuclear meltdown at Chernobyl showed, when things really do go wrong, the effects can be devastating. And this explosion at a chemical plant near Bristol in the UK sent a toxic cloud over thousands of homes, schools and businesses. That's why the Sevenside Sirens Trust has installed and maintains 12 sirens like this one that would warn people if there was a problem. But the makeup of this area is constantly changing. For instance, the population of Portishead has doubled in recent years due to development around the new marina. So if the siren sounds, how do you know if it's for real or if it's a test? Well, it all starts with education.
It goes every month on the 3rd at 3 o'clock. I think there's a practice one every third of the month, and if it's not on the 3rd, then it's probably going to be a real one.
So, does anybody know then what the 7 siren is for, and what might happen if you hear the 7 siren?
Step 1, go in, stay in, tune in. You've got to go inside and shut all the doors and windows.
Okay, and what will you hear on the radio, do you think?
When it's safe to go out again.
Excellent, well done. So you're going to do a piece of artwork around the 3, getting the message across with the 3. On that table over there, you're going to make some posters to explain to people what they should do when they hear the siren. Some persuasive posters. You're going to draw a cartoon or a storyboard about what people should do when they hear the siren. So, and this last group, you're going to make up a short jingle or short radio advert to describe what people should do when they hear the siren.
Warning and informing means reaching all sections of society, and as well as learning the CBRN safety mantra, go in, stay in and tune in, the children can take the message home to their families, which might include grandparents with mobility issues and other family members who might not speak English.
Trzeba wyjść do domu. Wiem. Zamknąć się i słuchać co radio. Wiem. I właśnie, a jak jest taki długi bip, to znaczy, że już musisz wyjść.
Sevenside Sirens also made a video to explain the system to businesses in the area, because places like the Port of Bristol have 14,000 transient people passing through every day. People like lorry drivers and ship's crew. People who don't know the area but need to be warned and informed and looked after if there's an incident, because a ship's crew cannot stay below decks in modern ships without air conditioning, and in a CBRN event the air conditioning would be switched off. This Eden exercise in Rome took place at a 1,500 bed hospital while medical staff were dealing with everyday hospital emergencies. It showed how people contaminated by toxic chemicals might arrive by ambulance, but some would turn up by themselves, so-called self-presenters. Note how triage is carried out in a special area outside the main accident and emergency unit to avoid the hospital being contaminated. And this involves decontaminating people in special tents fitted with showers. People must strip off and remove jewellery and watches which might also be contaminated. The items are then bagged up and labelled. The whole exercise was conducted in front of several news crews, both national and international, because the organisers of the event realised the importance of educating the public through television news about the type of things they might see, such as people in strange protective suits if there was a real CBRN incident. In the case of this exercise, the ambulances were easily cleaned off after the exercise. However, when the Skripals were poisoned in the UK by the nerve agent Novichok, several ambulances and police cars had to be disposed of in landfill sites. With CBRN incidents, something called social amplification of risk comes into play, This is where people amplify risks they're unfamiliar with, such as chemical or biological or radiological incidents, compared to risks that they are familiar with, things like driving too fast in the rain. And those type of risks they tend to downplay. So in normal times, families are happy to enjoy a nice day out in the park, but during the Novichok poisoning and also the recent COVID-19 incidents, people were a lot more anxious, and that included the safety of their pet animals. Also, different cultures react to things like decontamination in different ways. For instance, some people would find it very traumatic having to take their clothes off in public for decontamination. So staff at BBC Leicester in the UK, where there's a big diverse population, produced a special video to explain the process to a multi-faith audience. Coronavirus has taught us many lessons, including words like lockdown and phrases like social distancing. But it has also shown how hostile forces will exploit any crisis with false information. So when it comes to CBRN, as well as running exercises for emergency responders, it's vital that governments prepare their media and communication strategy and their top-line messages well in advance of any incidents. That way they can reassure the public, reduce anxiety, especially in vulnerable groups, and counter any disinformation. And these are the very challenges which the EU Horizon 2020 Proactive project is addressing. If you would like to know more about the Proactive project, then please go to our website, proactive-h2020.eu, or email us. The address is contact@proactive-h2020.eu.